Do we need Tyrion when we have this amount of high end? These are both going to generate cards as well, so generating cards is like crazy strong already. We could probably get rid of Tyrion and lower the curve a little bit with that. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 3-drops. It's a lot of 3-drops, but it's pretty solid. Seeing a Knife Juggler in here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I don't know, Knife Juggler's too low curve, I think. Yeah, Tyrion was just an 8-drop, I could see that. I don't think we need an 8-drop, though. I think just getting board control and snowballing our board is going to be a lot better. So I want to try and get us to... snowball a little quicker. Keeper of Uldaman. I like Keeper of Uldaman. We have 2 4s. Keeper of Uldaman. What can we buff with it, though? We can't really buff too many of our own things with it. We can use it to reactively kill their things, though. Keeper of Uldaman's usually in every paladin deck. We have a lot of dragons, so we could justify losing a dragon or 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could definitely lose 1 dragon somewhere and fit in a keeper. What if we just lose one of these 9s? Because I don't think we need 2 9-drop finishers. And I like Ysera more than I like Nefarian. And we can throw in an Uldaman, get some more mid-rangey presence. Because Uldaman's insane. You're able to buff your 1/1s to trade up. You're able to buff your mini-bot to trade up. You're able to buff... you're able to debuff their guys and then kill them. Kind of like that. Ysera is the spare. You think you like Nefarian more than you like Ysera. I don't know, man. Ysera's a lot harder to remove, I think. Getting a quick Ysera is usually GG. Personally, I prefer Ysera over Nefarian for sure. Yeah. If we can fit another technician in there too, I think we'd be able to snowball even a little bit better. Totally losing the theme of ramping to big dragons? Not really. I think the ability to Azure Drake Consecrate is just insane. So ramping into that, just being able to do that, just play this for 3 and then have Consecrate, so it's just 7 mana turns. Just do this on turn 6 and then you have Blackwing Consecration and then you have Thorson with that too, so you can have super cheap Azure Drake Consecrates and super cheap just like double dragon development turns. You could even maybe put in Lotheb, but you have too many 5s because you can just get like power cheap dragons. No Coghammer. Yeah, I don't like Coghammer at this deck. Coghammer is like kind of cute for helping you trade with big things, but we have plenty of 3s already. I think Blackwing Technician is just better than Coghammer as a 3. Nah, I think Emperor's okay. Emperor's okay. We have a lot of cool swing turns we can make happen. We have Brand in the deck. Brand's really good with Emperor. We have Azure Drake, which is spell power, and Consecrates, which are swings, which is good with Emperor. Emperor's can find its place here. We have a big high end. Dragon Consorts with Emperors is pretty cool. The only thing is maybe a heal bot or something to be able to combo with Brand for sustain against face decks. His face decks are just so annoying, but then heal bots cost too much. I mean, our 5 slots already filled up a lot. Maybe this keeper is supposed to be a heal bot, though. I could see a heal bot going in there. So, yeah. I don't know. I like Chilma a lot to keep our dragon count high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could go down to 7, honestly, but like... Then what are we putting in? Then we cut Chilma and put in Tyrion. I can see that as well. If we don't have that much draw. Like the other decks that run 6 or 7 dragons have a boatload of draw. Our draw is in Lay on Hands and Azure Drakes. We only have 2 cycles and then our draw card. But our draw card doesn't come until much later. So since it comes so late, I really don't like having too few dragons. You saw we just didn't have any dragons left in the other game when we were playing against Face Hunter because we just didn't have any of our draw to draw into it earlier. So with Dragon Paladin decks, since they don't run any draw early game, I like having extra dragons. So I think this is what I would do. Lose the Owl. What does it get you? The Owl is insane against aggressive decks. That's what it gets you. Also gives you an answer to Sylvanas, which you desperately need because you're a control deck that's going to take the game into the late game and win off Ysera. So you definitely need to have an answer to Sylvanas at some point. So having the silence in there is pretty clutch in that, and it's really good against Hunter, as you saw. We won the game basically because of the Owl on turn 2. So I really like Owl against any sort of aggressive decks. Even Paladin is pretty good against. So yeah, that's how I would change the deck. That's how I would change the deck. Chromagus, dude, follow up turn 5 consort perfectly. No, you need it. You need anti-aggressive cards, man. Anti-aggro cards. Chromagus is another anti-control card, and we should beat control automatically because the tempo from this card's insane against control. This card's insane against control, and then we have a sick high end against control. So I can't see control being too big of a problem. Just our mid-range 5s should be able to really punish control. Because if you just look at the cycle of like how decks counter other decks, there's like control usually beats aggro, and then mid-range usually beats control, and aggro usually beats mid-range. And we have a lot of mid-range threats to just really pound control. Why Bran? Bran because of Healbot, Bran because of Ezra Drake, Blackwing Corruptor, Dragon Consort to then play Super Dragons really cheap. Because we can play them for 4 less now, so we get double innervates on our dragons, and then it's pretty cool. Alright. Cool deck, man. Just needed some little anti-aggro tune-ups. But I like the concept. I haven't seen the Bran Dragon Consort combo before. That's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, man. Alright. Mania Cloak. Or Mania Coke. What up, man? We got your deck list. Welcome to the operation room. Face Warlock. Here we go. Cursor of Fam, Face Warlock. You're not playing it? I just played it. We just won. We curb stomped a Hunter, man. It was pretty sick. All right, let's face Warlock. Some sad soul. Gonna make people cry on ladder. Power Overwhelmings and Soulfires, alright. Flame Imps, Voidwalkers, Cursor of Farm. We even got a Dark Bomb in there. Just get some more damage, you know? Why not? Alright, we got this card. Alright, any more Warlock cards? Nope, that's all the Warlock cards. Can I just search Cancer? Will that work? Abusive Sergeants, Leper Gnomes. Alright, where's that? Haunted Creepers? Haunted Creepers, Jugglers, Owls. That's a sweet little nifty board control package on turn 2. To then go right into doming them in the face with Arcane Golems. And Wolf Riders and Leroy. Where's the wolf? Man, back to my roots. I used to only play Cancer decks back in the day. When I qualified for the World Championship in 2014, the only decks I had were Zoo and Hunter, because I didn't have any cards because I didn't want to buy cards. So I just played like aggro decks because it was all I could afford. So I used to be just like a Hunter and Zoo specialist and just dome people a lot. And didn't own any of the cards to build the other decks, so I couldn't really play Control. I wanted to. It seemed cool. But I was like, shit, man, this is all I got. Alright. Let's do it. I love face decks. Alright, so usually Warlock means Reno Lock, and Reno Lock seems pretty tough to beat here. Curse of Reform is obviously not something we want. He keeps 1 card. Owl is not a 1-drop. How many 1-drops do we have in the deck? We have Abusives, Flame Imps, Leper Gnomes, Voidwalkers, so we're rocking 8 1-drops. So, while getting everything, odds are pretty good we find one. So I don't really want to keep any 2-drops most of the time. Only 2-drop I would keep would be Haunted Creeper, because fighting for board is pretty important. And Haunted Creeper is going to allow us to do that pretty well. We got a curve, 1, 2, 3, which makes sense. The deck has got a pretty solid curve, just looking at it. Maybe a little too many 3s, but we have 8 1s, 8 2s. So we should always have like a 1, 2, 3 curve. So that's good. Do you use Dark? Oh no, Immortal Coiled, okay. No reason to tap there, man. We're aggro. We're just spewing our cards into the board going face. Man, look at this guy. He's got all the removal. Played Archon, Firebat, and Duelist? Yeah, that was me. I played Duelist for the first time 2 days ago. Unfortunately for me, it was a ladder reset, so all the good players were playing. They all had, like, banners and stuff, so I'm going against people that have 100 wins at every class. I was like, what the hell? This is my first time playing. But yeah, I'm trying to practice Duelist so I can stream it eventually. Alright. Well, when they don't answer the first Wolf Rider, I think it's time to hit them with the second Wolf Rider. I don't really care about mana efficiency. I think it's more just getting the board presence and having the ability to have charges stick twice. It's gonna Hellfire anyway. Did I like Duelist? Yeah, Duelist was a blast. Alright, we have 6, 10, 13. I don't want to use the burn yet, so let's do this and try and find more burn. Mortal Coil is not burn. We could try and play Voidwalker to protect our burn. No, I think we're just going to take... Yeah, I guess we just take Coil and just Argent Horse right in the face. Coil can sometimes draw something that helps us. But most of the time we're probably just going to pitch it off Soulfire. And we're hoping this 2-1's able to connect again. Hopefully he doesn't have Reno yet and he just dies. That'd be pretty sweet. That doesn't look like a Shadow Flame play, so he's got to be healing this turn. Man, these Wolf Riders are just sticking. He didn't have the heal bot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 damage. Or 2 damage off lethal. There's lethal. GG. No respect for Antique. Nope. That's how you face deck. Odds were good for me there. Played the odds that he doesn't have and hit him in the face. We don't win if we try and trade, because then that gives him other outs besides Antique. Right now we could give him Antique as the out, or we could trade, and then Antique is still an out for him, and then he also has removal as outs. So it's definitely much better to go face there than to try and trade there, because we're just increasing his outs. Because Antique fucks us either way. Like, he heals for 8, he heals for 16. Either way, he's not going to die, so we lose. So it's like, that's why we commit to the face there and say, if you got it, you got it. If you don't got it and you got removal instead, well, fuck you, buddy, I went all face. So... Alright, so how could we improve the face deck? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1-drops, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-drops. Owl is not really a 2-drop, but kind of. Against aggro, it's a 2-drop. We could try and fit in 1 more 2-drop, so we have 7 non-situational 2-drops. So establishing board presence. What would we do then? I mean, just having an egg in there could be pretty good, but then that kind of messes up the just constant flow of our aggro damage. But at the same time, like, locking down our board's pretty sweet. So I wouldn't mind seeing just an egg as a one-of. Like, we have 2 Power of Lummies, 2 Abusive Sergeants, and if you're able to activate an egg, you just kill people. So I think egg's like a really solid card. Argent Horse Rider is pretty good at, like, being able to remove things, but... it just does less damage than the other cards, and if they're AoEing and they're clearing everything anyway, then they're going to be able to clear the bubble probably too. So I would actually slow down a little bit with the all face stuff and focus a little bit more on the 2-drop board control and put in an egg, to be honest with you. Just so you can, like, against grindy decks like Paladin and stuff like that, have a way to keep board a little bit longer, because otherwise Paladin can kind of steamroll you. So, yeah, I like board control in my face. Alright, what else could we change? What about Sir Finley? Tapping's good in this deck. Tapping is real good in this deck. So I don't like Finley. Like, tapping is pretty much equal to the Hunter hero power. Direwolf Alpha, no, our board's not going to stick long enough. If our board sticks long enough for Direwolf Alpha to help us, they're dead. I think we could get rid of a Curse of Refam for something. Dark Bomb just does more damage for the most part, so... But it does require them to use 2 mana, which is an issue sometimes, but not all the time. So getting rid of one of those, and then... what's another card we could get? Oh, what's up, Brad Bravely? Yeah, man, I've been trying to get Boshimi's been uploading all of those to YouTube, so I'm trying to build my YouTube channel up with some Tech Doctor videos, because YouTube's been liking it, so I kind of like giving them what they like, you know what I mean? You could maybe just get a Wrathguard in there. Imp Gang boss isn't the worst, but it loses potential a lot. Hellfire is not the worst thing in the world. Because against Paladin, like the thing is, Paladin is the only matchup I'm really thinking about here, because I feel like we're going to be fine against everything besides Paladin, and Paladin gets a little sketchy if we lose the board. So, like, Hellfire being helpful with that. Why does this deck have Egg? Because you control the board till turn 2, and then turn 2 you just, like, leave the board control alone, and just start doming all face. There's a transition point, right? So... we care about board, and then we stop caring about board. That's why we have things like Haunted Creeper, why we have things like Egg and Knife Juggler, because these are all board control cards that are going to help us get a board that they have to deal with. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Hellfire even in here to help with that. I don't like Void Tear. Void Tear is like too much of a mana commitment into not dealing face damage. And it would work really good if we go Egg into Void Tear, but other than that, it's not really anything. So the only consideration I'm thinking really is like Hellfire or not. Felguard. No, not Felguard. I mean, Hellfire is damage against control and kills Paladin. So I want to put in a Hellfire. Yeah, that game took so little time, I guess we'll run it back and... I mean, it took literally 30 seconds to kill the guy. I don't like Doomguard that much. We got Leroy instead. It's more damage. By that time, they should be dead. We have so much damage in the deck that Doomguard shouldn't really matter too much, and it's going to get discarded by Soulfire anyway. Our hand size is so small. I think Leroy is okay.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be mine.
Alright, board control cards. We want to go Voidwalker and then into what? We want to get double ones, preferably. That'd be like the ideal situation. So the cards we're looking for here is either any 2 double ones or Abusive Sergeant to help our Voidwalker trade up, or... yeah. I think Dark Peddler's too aggressive of a keep here. It's too slow. We need something that can buff our Voidwalker to help us trade up, or double ones, so that we can have better board establishment. Worst case, we get a 2-drop back and we're okay with it. There we go. Now we can open up with Flame Imp so that we don't get Shrek'd by Mana Worm, since we don't have Abusive to buff the Voidwalker. So we just want a way to deal with Mana Worm. If he plays a 2-drop that contests it, we can then kind of just block it behind the Voidwalker, so we can defeat Coin Scientist still. That's not a problem. This way we're just pushing the maximum possible turn 1 damage. Alright, double ones is more pressure than Dark Peddler, so I'm going to do double ones. And just push that base damage home. Does give him the ability to ping this off, but if he's pinging this off and wasting his whole turn doing that, we're pretty happy with it, because we're still pushing a lot of face damage. If he's Freeze Mage, we gotta find the Curse of Refram to beat his Ice Block. Alright, it doesn't look like he's Freeze Mage. He's some sort of Temple Mage. He's going with Coin Frostbolt here, most likely. That's kind of annoying. We can trade this in now. So see, we're still like a board control deck, kinda. Ooh, is that better? We don't get to develop a 2/2. So if we're Dark Bombing, what is the consequence of Dark Bombing? We would Dark Bomb, and then we would be able to develop a 2/1 and not a 2/2. I don't think that's as good. I think we want to be able to use our minions to trade up when we can use our minions to trade up, and then save the Dark Bomb to be able to trade with other things. Because we're not always going to have the ability to do so. So I'm going to Dark Peddler Abusive, I think. I'm going to take Soulfire for the damage. Because we're out of cards, so we're beginning to do the transition into all face part of our life. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So Still gonna trade this to protect my 1-4. Alright. So the other board state, we'd still have a leper gnome alive. It'd look different. Alright. We definitely want to remove that, and I want to develop the Haunted Creeper, so I don't want to Soulfire. Because if I Soulfire, then I have to lose a card, and I don't want to lose a card at this stage of the game. The 1-3 I find more valuable than the 2-1, I think, even though it's a little less damage. The 2-1 you could simply ping off. Yeah. We'll keep the stats in play. Alright, so we got 4, 8. Alright. Am I soul firing this turn? I don't think so. I think we can tap. Alright, we got Leroy now. I think we're gonna pop this to put more pressure on the board and just dome him. Empty the cards so we can Leroy Soulfire. Yeah. So we got 10 damage in hand, and he is at 13. We should be able to kill him next turn if we have 3 power remain on the table. Alright, does he have Blast Mage? Because that's going to be the card that tries to save him here, or a Sludge Belcher. Doesn't look like he has Blast Mage, so that's going to be 3 power left on the board, and that's lethal. Alright. Yeah, man, I like face decks a lot. Oh, I don't know. Face decks just work with me, bro. I play so much face decks. All I do is face decks, man. Tournament performance. My best, like, tournament decks are, like, Freeze Mage and Face Hunter, which are both face decks. If you think Freeze Mage isn't a face deck, you're silly. Alright, so, yeah, that's how I think I would change the deck a little bit. Other than that, it seems pretty solid. It's, yeah. Could put in one more board control card. Nah, seems consistent enough. But you saw last game we were able to just dominate the board control. Like, it's really important that you have cards that allow you to do that for the first 2 turns, and then transition, and then dome bust them. We transitioned turn 4 that time instead of turn 3, though, but that's because he took the board weird with that Mana Worm. He, like, saved the Mana Worm and did Mana Worm, Coin, Frostbolt to play around us Abusive Sergeanting on our Voidwalker, which is weird, but whatever. Dome busted. Okay. Good deck, good deck. Alright, so next deck to Doctor, we got Oro Drop. Oro. Yeah, something like that. Sorry. Or 0 RP. Alright, we have Bolster over here. Bolster Hobgoblin. There you go. Everybody needs some Bolster Hobgoblin in their life. Thanks for bringing this to the table. Let's see what we can do. I've played Bolster Hobgoblin before with Just Saying, but I'm not a Bolster Hobgoblin expert. So it's not a specialty of mine, for sure. But we'll put your deck together, see how it goes, and try and make some changes here. Doctor this bad boy right up. Alright. King's Defender's in this bad boy. Do I own a King's Defender? There's probably an apostrophe S, which messes up the search. I do own King's Defender. I like the zombie chow. We're not trying to kill him, we're trying to get board control. So it makes sense, makes sense. Card draw. Death Lords. Oh, there's 2 King Defenders. One's just golden. Oops, missed that. 1 Death Lord. The second King's Defender in here. The Black Knight. Dread Corsairs. Just for the taunt fact. We only have 2 weapons, which makes Dread Corsair kind of sketchy, but we got a lot of card draw, so I can see it. No Morgan Infantry. I guess it's got taunt and charge. Combo it with bolster for that that sweet 3/6 charge. Could see it happening. And the Hobgoblins. So Hobgoblin synergizes with what in the deck? It synergizes with Nomergon, Unstable Ghoul, Annoyatron. Alright, I can see a combo with a lot of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards of combos with. That's not a bad number. Got executes for board clears. We have a really low curve. Look at that, 2s and 3s is the whole deck. But we have Acolyte of Pains to try and help with that, and we got 1 Battle Rage to try and connect with that. So I guess we'll see how that works. We can find a Life Tap Hero Power with Finley, maybe, something like that. Got a lot of pretty solid just minions here. We got Monkeys, Death Lords. King's Defender should give us a lot of weapon charges, because we get 3 charges from it. We should almost always have a taunt. We have so many taunts. We got a Slam for draw. And we got the Black Knight for some hard removal to go with the executes for hard removal. 3 hard removal options. Okay. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Oh, we have War X's too. We have a lot of weapon charges, so Dread Corsair should always find value. A lot of weapon charges. Not bad, not bad. Hopefully our board sticks, though. If we get board wiped with this deck, it's pretty brutal. We might need to find some more draw.
Versus Rexa.
Alright. Got Bolster, got Unstable Ghoul, Acolyte of Pain combo against Hunter is really sick. Bolster is our whole deck, so I might just keep it. I don't think so. We need weapons. We need King's Defender, we need War X, we need something like that first. I do like this combo, though. This combo is dirty. Alright, Finley turn 1, there you go. What a curve. How many 1-drops do we have in the deck? What are our odds there? We only have 2 1-drops in the deck. Nailed it. I kind of want to go with Shapeshift. Board Control. We don't want Rogue, obviously, because we have a lot of weapons in the deck. Shapeshift can bump up our weapons so that we can play Dread Corsairs for free, and so that we can kill things. Yeah. Killing things is good. Killing things is good. What up, Vandrin Druid? How's it going, man? Alright, let's just play Unstable Ghoul to kill his minion, activate our Battle Rage, potentially, and if it sticks around, maybe get some Acolyte of Pain value. Activate Execute as well, maybe, if he's forced to play a minion to help kill it. Hopefully he doesn't have Glaive Zuka. Balls. Meta lucky. Alright, there we go. Got this to be able to deal with Animal Companion, that's kind of cute. So if he rolls a Misha, we can clear it. There you go, get a Misha. Damn it, always Huffer. Value Huffer. What is going on there? Alright. Well, I guess I'm just going to hero power down that Huffer. It's an interesting choice to value Huffer when I can clear it for free. Well, I guess he's trying to deny my draw. He's scared, man. He's intimidated by the bolster. We might just start doming him in the face with some more X's, try and make up the damage. Because that's what we got, and we don't have very much damage in the deck or Our plan of finishing is just board control.
I'll show them.
But
I'll show them all.
I can't really use this battle rage for just one card, I don't think. We don't have enough cycle in the deck to justify it. Gotta find some value off of it somewhere. Alright, kill this, and then I guess we'll sit. We don't want to just walk into a bear trap, and this will probably stick around for being able to work with freezing. I mean, yeah, to be able to proc freezing or explosive or whatever. Multiple traps. One of those is going to be bears. If it's bear plus snakes, things get awkward. I guess we find out. It's explosive plus what? Explosive plus snakes? No, explosive plus bear. Good. So we can kill that, and then we got rid of the explosive, so I guess we can just double sparring partner. Try and pressure this hunter out of the game. We don't have the bolster yet, but Tempo Warex. Yeah, we don't have enough cards for that, I don't think. I think we're just going to take the armor game. What is going on here? Quick shot, quick shot. It's killing everything. We don't have enough minions for this. Look at this guy, power removaling. What in the hell? I guess we have to battle rage for one now. Kind of pinned into a corner with that one. Alright, we get the fierce monkey though. Not a bad card to get here. I think he's playing boom next turn though, which is pretty scary. Hopefully we can pick up a slam. I guess he is face hunter? He's trade face hunter. Who knows? All I know is Arcane Golem hurts, man. Arcane Golem hurts. Guess we're weaponing down that Arcane Golem. He already used a quick shot and a kill command, so when we trade here, we're definitely trying to build up our board. That's our win condition, is the board. At least we have the Druid hero power, so we can armor a little bit. It's not as good as the armor up hero power in this situation, but holy crap. I need cards. Oh jeez. That's probably snake or explosive. Who knows? Is it snake? Is it explosive? Guess we'll find out. It's a mystery. Usually they play bear, explosive, snakes, like one of each, right? I'm scared. I'm gonna go face. Alright, good. We made the read. Alright, does this work? I'm gonna test it for science. Alright, that doesn't work. Dome him in case we draw another weapon. We're not really trading with it. Can't really beat snakes, so we gotta keep just dome and face. Okay. Execute's not so good against Hunter. Especially face Hunter. Lucky for us, the only card in his hand is the coin, so he's out of steam. Got a King's Defender, doming him in the face now. The race, man. The race is real. Most of our minions have taunt though, so we should be able to make it. We should be able to make it, theoretically. Coin, kill command. Come on. Where are my taunts? We're gonna draw like Black Knight or something that doesn't have taunt and die. Or he's gonna kill commandos here. He's probably got a quick shot in his hand. He's thinking if he wants to trade or not. Because he's seen me sitting with these two cards all game. He's thinking maybe they're burst or something. Because he doesn't know what to expect. I'm playing some weird cards, man. So I think he's got a quick shot. That's why he coined. He just doesn't know if he wants to face me with it or not. He's got to log into the stream, see if I got burst in my hand. Alright, play your quick shot, man. Hit me in the face. Let's go. No, it doesn't have taunt. One of the only minions in our deck that doesn't have taunt. We're playing taunt warrior. Alright. Set up lethal. Maybe he disconnected. Or maybe he's got kill command. What card would he possibly hold? Maybe he drew the trap and he's pissed about drawing the trap. If he drew the trap, that's good for us, man. Okay. Got it. Easy game. Alright. Alright, so how are we gonna... We fizzled out on cards really fast, which was a problem. We got a lot of synergies going on here with the Hobgoblin and the bolsters, so we are definitely gonna need to be able to squeeze in some card draw if we're gonna be able to make this work. So card draw. We have the Battle Rage in there. Battle Rage requires us to have things on board to be able to really trade with them. I could see us needing a little bit more card draw than that. Draw. We could play things that synergize with Hobgoblin that draw cards. It's a possibility. We could play Jeeves. Jeeves seems like it's needed in this deck. We run out of steam so fast. I don't think we need Black Knight really in this deck. Like, we have the sparring partners and that's kind of cute, but Black Knight doesn't synergize with anything besides sparring partner. And it clunks up Jeeves if we run Jeeves, and I really want to run Jeeves. I've never said Jeeves so many times in the same sentence before. Finley makes sense most of the time. It just didn't work out very well for us last game. I would like to see... Nomergon's kind of a sketchy card. Like, it's a 1/4 that synergizes with Hobgoblin, so we're replacing it with another 1/4 that synergizes with Hobgoblin, but one that's going to help us draw more cards and keep our deck going fluid. Then, let's get... I think we should probably have some better... how many 2-drops? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops? I think we could get some more 2-drops in there, honestly. Or even if 1-drops were a thing. Like, just war 5 people? No. I would like to see another armor... I would like to see more 2-drops. I want to see like 8 2-drops-ish. We get Armor Smith in there. And we have no execute activators, which is kind of a big thing. We just have to smack things with our face to activate execute. I think double War X, 1 King's Defender is enough weapons to have enough weapon charges to carry us through the game. We get a Cruel Taskmaster in there to buff some of our high health taunts. We have like 1/4s and stuff. To then and also activate execute. I don't know. Having 2 Armor Smiths seems so good though. Synergizes with Hobgoblin is a 2-drop that helps us in the early game board control stages. I want to see. We could go 1 of these and a Blood Mage Thanatos. We go 1 Sparring Partner. Sparring Partner is just a 3/2 now that we don't really have. It's a 3/2 that helps us taunt up further things to make Bolster a little bit better, but at the same time, like, I don't think we need 2 of them. So it's like a 3/2 taunt. We have so many taunt minions in the deck already. Like, pretty much our whole deck is taunt. So I want to get a Thalnos in there to help us draw a little bit more. Because our curve, we increased the curve a little bit and added draw, so that should help. Argent Squire replacing Zombie Chow. I like that suggestion. That's cute. That'll combo with the Hobgoblin still. We could even just ready for action people, to be honest with you. Sick 1-drop, man. You have to play the Goldshire Footman. You have to. You're playing Hobgoblin Bolster with no Goldshire Footman? You're not ready for action, man. Serious. Gotta be ready for action. Gotta be ready for action. I like it. Why Thalnos? Thalnos combos with Hobgoblin and also draws a card so we can get closer to our combos. If we don't want to play Thalnos, we could play something else. Lance Carrier. Lance Carrier is kind of cute. I think this is getting you more on the right track. Jeeves is something you really needed. So now that you got Jeeves, you can kind of put together the pieces of how to make things really flow a little bit more. But you were lacking the card draw, so we added some Jeeves in there, raised the curve a little bit to keep it a little bit more consistent, and hopefully we're able to more consistently bolster people to death. So I think that'll help with that whole process a lot. Why Finley? Because armoring up sucks when you're doing this. We don't want to armor up. We want to do anything other than armoring up. We want to fight for board. So since we're fighting for board with Warrior, instead of just trying to outlast them with Warrior, we should be getting things like the Druid hero power, the Mage hero power, anything that can help us kill things on the board so that we can then preserve our taunts so that we can then bolster them. Alright. Cool deck, man. Call that one doctored. Oh, should probably play Novice Engineer instead of Thalnos. Yeah. My bad. Novice Engineer is much better than Thalnos. They accomplish very similar things, but one's just clearly better. So yeah, Novice Engineer instead of Thalnos. My bad on that one. Alright. Next deck, we are at Vermdeft. Let's see what you got for us, bro. Alright. Mechs of Medivh. We got some Mech Mage going on. We have the Medivh hero selected too. So, what the hell?
My plans are falling into place.
No, don't automatically finish it. Okay. Vermdeft role-playing as Medivh. It's Mechs and Medivh. We probably want Mechs. We definitely want Snow Chuggas, Blast Mages, Clockwork Gnome, Cogmaster, Annoyatron, Mech Warper. We got a Harv in there. 2 Spider Tanks. Where's Tinkertown? Tinkertowns. Oh, there's Shredders, of course. Blingtron, why not? Add some spice to your life. Got a Gorilla in there. We got 2 Fireballs and a Polymorph. This hard removal is good. Alright, and Boom and Tony. Toshly Lothip. Toshly and Lothib. And then what do we got left? The Frostbolts, of course. Of course, Frostbolts. Alright, so we got a Mech Mage, we got a Polymorph in there, we got Gorilla Bot, which is new, and we got Blingtron in there. And it's a little bit higher curve than normal Mech Mage. A little bit higher curve. Got a lot of 3-drops too. Yeah. It took away some 5-drops, added 6-drop, and added a removal spell, and added some extra 3s. It's okay. So we took the 5s and just kind of spread them out on the curve compared to normal Mech Mage. So let's see how that works out for us. Toshly, there's an Antonitis in there. Hope there's an Antonitis in there. Yeah, Toshly Antonitis combo going on. A lot of spare parts, man. A lot of spare parts. So, Tony's gonna be pretty sick because we have double Tinkertown and double Clockwork Gnome and Toshly. So much spare part generation.
Let the games begin.
Alright. That's a hand. There we go. These are the cards we're looking for. Get some mechs to go with our Mech Warper. Alright. We can go this turn 1 and then all of this turn 2. Pretty sweet. This can test Northshire Cleric, so it's really solid. Unless he plays it right now. What do you got, bros? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. We could go Mech Warper and just hope he doesn't have a way to make a trade up, which he shouldn't, because he's Priest. Shouldn't be like abusive sergeanting me or anything. So we're gonna go Mech Warper this turn, and then we can follow up with Coghammer, or Cogmaster Anoyatron in the following turn. God, I wish we could Coghammer. And then we just gotta find a 3 here. We got 5 3s we're looking for, right? We got double Spider Tank, double Tinkertown, and a Harvest Golem. So 5 3s to try and find. And even a 4 would work because the Mech Warper is gonna be persisting on the board behind the Anoyatron. So, super fast development. Now we gotta find a 3 or a 4-drop mech. So we got 5 3-drop mechs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 drops. So we got 8 cards we're looking to find out of 24. Well, we didn't find it, but this isn't a bad turn. We can kill the 2/8, which we definitely want to do this turn, I think. We lose our Mech Warper, but hopefully find something good. Not the greatest thing in the world to find, but we gotta just keep the pressure up, you know? Oh, Blast Mage on 4 is pretty sick, but how am I going to make these trades beforehand to try and optimize this? I guess I just want to make sure the Cleric's dead, so I'll just trade into the Cleric and then Blast Mage and see what happens. Almost killed it. That would have been sick if we were able to clear that there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not like this. Not the Wild Pyromancer clear. I need to just flash heal the zombie chow. I just got lighted in the
In the light's name.
Yeah, he could have lighted the with the zombie chow. Yeah, this guy's circle. I was trying to make this guy super huge for some reason. Curious. Yeah, I'm gonna kill that guy. I can kill it with a ping. I don't really want to give him the Blingtron weapon to help him clear yet, because his health total isn't really low enough that I can justify doing so. So I think I'm just going to do this and just trade down the board. Time Rewinder. Time Rewinder Blast Mage could come into play. I'm going to kill this. I'm going to kill this. I'm going to kill this. Preserve board. Win game. I'm scared about Light Bomb, basically. Hopefully he doesn't have Light Bomb. That's okay. Thought Steal. Alright, we can kill that without using our burn, right? We can try and do this and try and clear it. Then maybe the pressure's enough. Or we could develop this as a more resilient minion. Keep the 5-1 alive, keep doming him with that. Kinda like that. Let's see what comes out of this first, though. Not a good one. That one dies to Light Bomb, but our board's kind of resilient to... Our board's pretty resilient to Holy Nova. It's not that bad to Light Bomb, because we at least get a 2-drop out of the deal, and we can continue putting face pressure on. Vandrin Druid just subscribed. Welcome to the Batcave team thing, man. Appreciate the support. Right on. Alright, now he's dead. 10, 14, a billion. Sometimes they let your board stick, man. Mech Mage, good deck. Alright, so how are we going to change this Mech Mage around? Try and figure some things out here. So if we're worried about climbing on ladder with Mech Mage, some things we're going to want to consider is we have a really solid list against control right now because we have things like Polymorph that's an anti-control card. We got things like this high end, which includes a Toshli and 2 7-drops. So we got a really sick anti-control thing. We got Harvest Golem in there to kind of help out against aggro and against Paladin a little bit because Harvest Golem's pretty sweet at trading with Paladin. I'm not so thrilled about double Clockwork Gnome lowering our curve that much. We don't have any draw in the deck really, so if we hit a bunch of these 1-drops and stuff, we're going to slow down a lot. I'm not so thrilled about Tinkertown Technician just because against Paladin, they oftentimes remove all of your minions. And if they remove all your minions, then Tinkertown's really just kind of dead in your hand. So I'd like to see one of the Tinkertown Technicians go. Plus we have enough 4-drops, or enough 3-drops as it is already. So if we cut a Tinkertown Technician, and then I can say we can cut the Clockwork Gnomes here, and I want to see Mana Worms added in. Mana Worms are really good in the meta right now against Paladin because the 1/3 body is actually kind of a pain in the ass for Paladin to deal with because their 2-drop is Minibot, which doesn't directly kill a 1/3, and then their other 2-drops generally Haunted Creeper. They don't really YOLO out a Knife Juggler because they're afraid of it getting frost bolted and stuff. And their whatchamacallit, Secret Keeper doesn't trade into it efficiently because that gets buffed up to a 2/3. Minibot doesn't kill it. Muster doesn't kill it. I think it's just a much more resilient 1-drop that helps you fight for the board. I think we have plenty of Antonidas triggers as is with Toshli being in the deck, so I think that's okay. But I just want to help. I think just helping fight for the board early against against Paladin is really key. So that's why I like having that in there. And then I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 2-drops, so I want to see more 2-drops. And a 2-drop that we could add in there that's really cute with Mana Worm is Unstable Portal. I got 7 2-drops. Ideally, you want to have like 8 2-drops, so you can always find a 2-drop. And again, going second, you can go 2-drop, coin 2-drop, or coin 2-drop, and then play another 2-drop after that. So having that possibility is really cute. So how can we increase that possibility a little bit? Polymorph is your answer to Tyrion, but I kind of want to have him dead by the time they get there. So I kind of want to see the Polymorph go, and then just put in the other Unstable Portal. I think is a good 2-drop. Is there any better 2-drop options? There's like Haunted Creeper and like, we don't even run Juggler. Micro Machine's a terrible 2-drop. Yeah, so I would like to see the other Unstable Portal, just as another trigger to buff your Mana Worm and to help you against the early game of Paladin. Because that's like the hardest thing that's going to be for you to beat. Like, basically, Mech Mage is pretty favored against Druid automatically, so you should be just shitting on Druid, like, pretty much no matter what you're running, as long as you have early game minions. You should be able to beat most, like, warrior decks and all this sort of stuff. Just the big problem with the deck is you struggle a lot against Paladin just because their early game is so strong with the mini-bots and the musters. So getting Mana Worm to help kind of line up with that a little bit better, and then just trying to prioritize getting Blast Mage on 4 should help you a lot against Paladins. Other than that, that's like, you should be pretty good against the rest of the matchups. Even like Shaman's not that big of a deal because you have taunts and you have freezes and you just get the board really quick. So, yeah, get the board early against Paladin, snowball it, win game. That's how you do it against Paladin most of the time. I think trying to react to Paladin is just way too difficult because then you need to run in like draw and stuff to draw your answers for their questions because every single card they have is a different question that you're going to need a different answer for. So that's not a good way to do it. I think just getting the board faster is better. I think Blingtron can go though. If we cut Blingtron's like mediocre against Pally. It can help really rushing him down a little bit. But if Blingtron were to go, options that you have against them is like Fell Reaver's pretty good. Just to force them to have an answer, otherwise they die. Not Fen Creeper. Misclick. Azure Drake's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. We have a lot of 4-drops. It definitely wants to be a 5. I could see Sludge Belcher not being too bad to help you kind of stall out the game a little bit to get towards your Toshli Antonidas combo. You got that going on for you. And Belcher just can protect your little shitter mechs so they can hit him in the face for a lot. So I would rather have Belcher than having the weapon guy. Like, if you want to run Bling just because running Bling is cool, though, you can run Bling because it's pretty freaking cool. But I think Belcher would actually just be a little bit stronger. You have such an early game presence that you can then protect behind the Belcher and keep doming him in the face with it. I'm not a fan of Clockwork Knight because it's just a generic 5/5. Even a 5/5, even a 6/6 for 5 mana is not that great. So I think Belcher just serves the purpose a little bit better. So just try to make it a little bit better against... Oh, Bling is anti-aggro Shaman tech. See, the problem with that, though, is they play Doomhammer and hit you with it, and then you play Blink-Tron, you give them another Doomhammer. No, but any weapon you give them is going to hit you in the face. So it's kind of sketchy anti-Blink-Tron, or anti-face Shaman tech. I think Belcher would just do a little bit better at stopping the Doomhammer from hitting you in the face, giving you that opening to then set up to be able to lethal him with Fireball. So that's what I would do. I think we were too focused on the Tinkertown Technician and the mech synergies a little bit that we ended up playing kind of weaker cards to then get spare parts, which don't do anything until way later in the game. And by that point, we're dead already. So I really like I really like adding in Mana Worms, taking out some of the really crappy cards that just die easily, because like a 2/1 stat-wise is not good. I don't think anybody can argue that 2/1 is good stat-wise. So just having minions that have better stat, that hold better weight, that can get you to snowball the board better, because you're a board control mech deck. The whole point of your deck is to get board control and snowball having board control, with synergies by having your minions stick around, and then having board control by having like better minions on those drops is going to really help you be able to have your minions stick better, which then leads to winning games. So I think Belcher, Mana Worms, things like that help that happen. You have plenty of cheap spells for Antonidas. You got Portals, you got Frostbolts, and you got spare parts off Toshly. And I don't think you need to get value off Antonidas the turn you play it. If you're ahead on board and you drop Antonidas, you win. Because it's pretty much impossible for them to board clear your entire board and deal with Antonidas in the same turn. So basically, the idea with Antonidas and Boom and Mech Mage, and the original Mech Mage by Strifecrow in like January of last year, well, so yeah, a year ago, there was you play your minions, you get board control, and then turn 7 comes around, you just drop Antonidas or Boom, and then your opponent's like, well, I can kill Antonidas, but if I kill Antonidas, then I leave all of these minions on board, and if all the minions stick, you hit them in the face with all the minions, fireball them, they're dead, and if they kill all the minions, they leave Antonidas up, and then you just fireball them in the face forever. So it's like sort of like a checkmate lockdown situation where you're like, I play a big threat that if you don't kill the big threat, you die. And if you kill the big threat, you can't kill my board. That's kind of the purpose behind it. So I don't think you really need to focus too much on having cheap spells for it. I think you went kind of overboard with the spare parts there. That's why I took some of those guys out. All right. Doctored Mech Mage. So yeah, you either need 1 spell or 0 spells, honestly, with Tony. If you have good minions, then why have Gorilla Bot? I don't know, because it's a new card, seems cool. I haven't tested around with it enough. I just didn't want to completely change every card in the guy's deck and make him feel bad, because he's got a solid shell going on. It doesn't need that much changing. Alright. This one's cool. This is Trigonometry's thing. He said, Elise Star Hunter. Make a hunter deck that uses tracking and King's Relic to track down Elise, Map, and Monkey. Use the different control cards of Hunter to control the board until the Golden Monkey is played. Maybe lock and load, but lock and load isn't required. I'm gonna have fun with this one. So this is what he wants me to design a deck. So, Trigonometry's Elise Hunter idea. So we need Elise, and we need tracking. Just getting the required cards out of the way. And what else do we need? We need King's Relic. Oh, there's an apostrophe in there, isn't there? I hate how it makes you have to type apostrophes. I don't want it. So King's Relic to try and find Elise. So then, cool. The Golden Monkey costs 4 as well, too. Can we control the board completely and find it? Just